Hey guys, this is Lloyd from DTW Life and Tover Landing. Today we're going to install a Realtor Lockbox on our 2019 Tiffin Allegro RED. So grab you a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage and let's get started. So we decided that because of the fact that we leave our motorhome unattended in parks, even for a day at a time, say you're someplace, a tourist attraction or something, and you're out for the day, we have the dog inside. And I know a lot of people use like the little magnetic key hiders, that kind of thing. We've heard good and bad about those. We've heard about people going to need them and finding that they're gone, that they've fallen off along the road somewhere. So we wanted something a little more sturdy, a little more a permanent install, I guess, if you want to call it that. So after some looking around online, we saw several other people had done this as a solution. So we just got this master, it's a realtor's lock. Like you would see on a house that's for sale, combination lock. It holds keys inside and it's permanently installed somewhere. And I'll show you where we're going to install that here in just a bit. But we figured this is a good solution for, like I say, when we're gone for a day and the dog's inside, something happens, the park calls and says, hey, there's water coming out of your coach, or there's smoke coming out of your coach, or whatever. If the dog's inside without breaking a window or something like that, there's no way somebody could get in. So this, we could tell them what the combination is, where the key is, they could get it, get the dog out, and everything else is replaceable. Or times when we're starting the Tover Landing thing, we're going to probably leave the motorhome places hooked up and go off adventuring in the truck and the overland rig. So there would be another time where we'd be leaving the motorhome unattended for a while. Of course, at that point, the dog wouldn't be staying in it. But, things like water coming out of the coach, smoke, that kind of stuff. Sometimes if somebody could get inside the coach, something that was going to be a disaster could be limited to just maybe a small inconvenience. So we decided that we were going to use this and hide a key, and I'll show you how we determined where we're going to put this. So we wanted to put this somewhere that, of course, was not locked with a key, but that where it would be hidden from just plain sight. So, to avoid those kind of problems. But so the engine compartment was one suggestion, but we got to looking inside the engine compartment, and there really aren't any good solid mounting points here. There's a lot of plastic, and anything that we do here could be seen from the outside. We probably don't want to really mount it anywhere near the radiator or anything like that. So, albeit that this was a good not locking compartment that would have been a good place to put this, we didn't want to really put ours here for the sake of it not being very well hidden and not being very securely attached. So that gave us another idea of possibly trying another compartment that didn't lock, which is the front generator compartment that pops out. The only caveat there is that the release for this lives in this compartment, which is locked. So we scratched that one off the list. Which brings us to the propane compartment. Propane compartment never locks, and there's plenty of room. There's lots of space here to mount things on these walls, or even in the air compressor compartment. This is also within that same door. The only thing that we noticed with the compressor compartment is that there is no floor in this compartment. So if something happens and, you know, we get bounced around and this lockbox does happen to detach from where it's mounted, it doesn't fall out and go through our truck windshield or someone else who's behind us. So we decided that the air compressor compartment would be a much better spot to put this. And then when I started looking, all of these are kind of I guess a high impact or whatever plastic. And I was thinking, well, you know, that's probably fairly sturdy, but what could be a little more sturdy in here that would hold a screw a little better? And then I got to looking at the back side of the door panel. These are aluminum, and so pretty sturdy, would hold the screw pretty well. So that's what I decided finally, that I'm gonna mount this on the inside of this door panel. So I guess the first thing you wanna do is make sure that when this door is closed, you're not running into any of these not wires, but air lines, anything like that. It looked like here was a pretty open area. So where that coordinates to this spot on the door is where we want to place this. Luckily, the gasket, the door seal gasket, has left us a pretty good line, so we know where that hits. So we'll measure this out, find us a good place to put this, and then we will start marking it for our holes. All right, so to get started installing this, we just have to open the lock compartment. This master lock comes with a customizable combination, so you can set it to whatever you want your combination to be. And then you can see it's got these mounting holes on the back. It also comes with its own mounting screws, but these are a little bit long for our door. We don't want screws sticking out the back side of the door. So what I did is I went to the hardware store and got a box of these number 8 by 1/2 inch self-drilling panhead screws, and I'm going to use those for this. Since I got the self-drilling screws, we don't really need to drill any pilot holes or anything. But what I did do is come in here and I went ahead and measured where I wanted this box to sit, and I marked myself one hole. So that way I can come in here, I can start this hole without having to hold this in one hand, the drill in the other hand, hold the screw and all that. So I figured that would be easier. So I just came in here, lined this up where I wanted it to be, marked that hole, and then we'll go ahead and start a screw in that hole. That way we can put our lockbox back on, and it'll be held with this one screw. It'll be easy to start, and then we can put our other 3 screws in. right, now that that's done, just to be 100% sure, I'm going to close this box and I'm going to close the door just to check and make sure everything clears the way we expect it to. And that all should be fine. I'm going to pop this back open. We'll put the other 3 screws in, and then we'll put our key in here, lock it up, and we'll be good to go. Thanks for tuning in today. If you liked what you saw, or if you learned something, make sure you subscribe and you hit that notification bell so you'll know when we post new content. That's about it for today. Stay safe out there. Remember, leave it better than you found it, and happy trails.